Obama supporters in 2008 or 2012. How do you view him now over 10 years later? Ask Reddit. Ironically _ Swiss. I miss politics without all this bullshit. Or, less bullshit, at least so much hate now. It's sick. Blurbees 22. 3146. I still remember a guy on Facebook complaining about Obamacare and saying ACA was better. People corrected him and he deleted his account. Pendleton Skyforce. 12,253. There have been many years in which I've benefited from the ACA. So thanks, Obama. TJ_McQueeksauce. 5,528. As a non-USA person, Australia, my view is he was a diplomat, a fine representative for your country, articulate, and a decent person. His track record of getting things through was a bit below par, though he didn't always have a supportive Congress. Overall, a good person and president. IMHO. _Chook. 4,978. Wish he was tougher on banks, but overall he was fine. King of my machine. 4,061. We didn't realize how good we had it. Weepinwillow. 8,191. As with any administration, I certainly had my disappointments. Drone warfare. Reed. Arbitrary murder from the sky. Failure to follow through with promised eradication of Patriot Act, etc. That said, Obama's administration was a period of stability, competence, responsiveness to the people, to an acceptable degree, at least, compared to old President Cheney Vader. Oops. I meant George Dubia. Sorry. Quote. YDO Modish 8 me minus 1999. 354. Of all the presidents since I was alive, I think I was born during the second Reagan term. He is the least evil. That is not a high bar. But he's still the best one I've seen. Yeah, so I woke up with 40 notifications. I am just going to ignore this thread because I don't want to deal with it. Yes, I do stand by I said. Reagan was an ass. Bush SR was an ass. Clinton was a sex pest. Bush Jr. was a warmonger. Obama tried his best. Trump was a monster. And a sex pest. And a racist. Biden isn't done yet. I have no right to judge his presidency as a whole. Adorable Chemistry 64. 2,772. People who like Elon Musk but no longer do. What was the turning point? Ask Reddit. Meow Mommy X. That whole thing with the kids trapped in the cave in Thailand where Musk tried to insert himself as the hero, when the pro-divers actually rescued the kids and nobody took Musk's mini-submarine idea seriously. And then he goes and calls the leader of the rescue team a pedophile. It really revealed a lot about his character to me. He's got an ego the size of the sun, the maturity of a 12-year-old and the self-awareness of a brick. Mods are ruining Reddit. 7,768. I was fairly neutral or indifferent. But the whole Thai cave rescue subsaga thing was when I started to notice he was a cunt. D-Res. 9,689. The first time I realized there's something wrong with him was when he accused one of the mine divers of being a pedophile because he was mad at him. It was all downhill from there. Cinema_King. 2,533. Honestly, my shift in perspective came when I noticed the pattern of him using controversy to stay relevant. Initially, his ideas and ambitions for space and clean energy were enthralling. Then it became a sequence of erratic tweets, controversial stances, and haphazard business moves that seemed more about stirring the media pot than true innovation. The Thai cave fiasco, as mentioned, was an eye-opener. But what sealed it for me was the entire fiasco with the Twitter acquisition. It's one thing to be an eccentric genius. It's another to wield influence without a compass. Minute Reflection 3651. 1706. Thai cave thing is when it started. But then it continued with each and every time he opened his stupid mouth about stuff he clearly had no idea about. He's not a futurist. He's just another reactionary who wishes he could be a 19th century robber baron. El Nakado. 527. Quite honestly, the turning point was immediately after I started to like him. As I was starting to like him. Even. The problem is that once you learn anything about him, you realize what a miserable sack of wasted flesh he is. Once you start looking into his social media presence, the reality becomes literally unavoidable. So I thought, hey, that Musk guy with the solar panels seems like he might be onto something, and then one Google search later I realized I had been wrong. This was quite a while ago. So his personal opinions weren't yet plastered everywhere. Aquariarms. 505. I liked him when he was focused on making green energy affordable. I remember when he came out with the Tesla solar roof. And I thought it was very cool. I still think it's a great idea. The turning point for me was when he became more political. When he started going down the anti-woke and conspiracy theorist path. I noticed that the type of people that were rallying around him were not the kind of people I like or even agree with. And Musk kept doubling down to the point where he bought Twitter and lost all that money. It just became extremely obvious that he's very thin-skinned and he's the type of person that can never admit he's wrong about anything. Then, of course, he started letting his racism and anti-Semitism slip out. But I was way past my turning point by then. I'm in jeopardy. 1937. No single turning point, but several things over time. For me, the very first moment was when he kept insisting that our world is a simulation based on incredibly flimsy logic, and everybody was just like, oh yes, good point, Mr. Musk. Like, I don't have a strong opinion on the idea. But I was sort of turned off by how he had somehow risen above scrutiny at that moment. Then came the Thai cave rescue incident. I wasn't bothered by him trying to contribute resources to help, even if nobody had asked for it. But the false accusation, calling his critic a pedo guy, IIRC, and everything that followed in that story was a big issue. Then came the Cybertruck. That thing is ridiculous on a practical level. In so many ways. Then came the actions he took immediately after purchasing Twitter. A lot of really bad business decisions and really poor treatment of people. Old woolen sweater. 700. Who is your favorite NSFW creator? Ask Reddit. Dribbling Scudder. Mythbusters. Can't blow up shit at my office job. FNtastiker. 6586. Whoever makes those animations of Chinese industrial accidents. Bordinbaluk C. 2758. Derpixon. Chairs _by Keefe. 2287. Oglif. Slave 7081. 963. Teleporte. Super _junket 5416. 603. In case. Changing hats. 449. Mentor pilot. I get lost in the cockpit. Radioactive Nat. 262. Ops mom. Ease consistent 7016. 282. If you had unlimited money, where would you live? Ask Reddit. Non-caring 0. Caring. Skull-shaped island with a secret volcano lair. Merlay about. 3803. I'd have homes in various locations around the world. If I got bored in one place, I could spend some time in another place, and so on and so forth. Forsaken language 26. 3066. Removed. 542. Everywhere. I would be a wealthy hobo. No _step _ 4431. 138. Pacific Northwest. In an old forest. Near enough to the shore to hear it. but not enough to see it from my house. The house by a small river, large stream that runs to the ocean. L-shaped house with one side blocking the wind from the ocean. Mostly enclosed gazebo in the center of the L with a nice stone fire pit in the center and a small outdoor kitchenette against the back wall. Seating all around the sides of the gazebo and a couple hooks to hang a hammock up for napping next to the fire wrapped up in a nice warm blanket. The L is 2 stories. The lower floor is all the normal things, but more open and end-to-end. The upper floor is a master with a rain shower and an office on one arm. And the other arm of the L is a greenhouse with a little reading, breakfast nook on the end. Generic username 19892. 905. I would stay where I am. I love it here. Annual Bumblebee 310, 708. Removed, 165. Hawaii. RWT 380, 55.